New tonight, White House lawyers say they expect to see Robert Mueller's findings before a report goes to Congress. They want the opportunity to claim executive privilege, a claim that would set up a political battle over the perception that President Trump is trying to shield information from the public. Let's discuss now. Congressman Eric Swalwell is here. He serves on the House Intelligence and Judiciary Committees. Good evening to you. Thank you for coming on. So Bill Barr, the Attorney General, he's going to have the opportunity to review this, decide if it's going to come out. Do you expect the White House is going to claim executive privilege?
I do, but they don't sound like a team that has nothing to hide. Only someone who has something to hide would be so interested in pre-screening what the outcome is. If the president truly was interested in transparency and did nothing wrong in his businesses as a candidate in a transition and leading the administration, then you would say, hey, you know what? This is all nonsense. I cooperated. Here you go. But that's not, he knows, because he has a guilty conscience, he has tried to obstruct. And so I expect that we're going to have to litigate this.
So our reporting is, CNN's reporting is that Mueller, the confidential report to the Attorney General is expected any day now. So he's going to have a lot of discretion deciding what he's going to share, what he's not going to share, even with lawmakers. What are you going to do, and Democrats, others in your committee, whatever, to ensure that the American public learn about whatever the findings are in Mueller's investigation in the report?
You know, I spent the last 2 years with many of my colleagues going across the country as people marched in the streets, went to town halls, and went to the ballot box to make sure that we could see this report. So I'm going to fight like hell to make sure that we see this report, whether it's organizing again, whether it's using my lungs, whether it's outmaneuvering with our minds. The American people are going to see this report. If we had not won the House, I wouldn't say that so confidently to you, but the American people will see every word of this report.
One senior official told CNN that they're going to do everything to work with the Democrats, right? But they said, but they want it to be fair. They want it to be fair. Do you expect the White House to cooperate?
No. No. We have to.
You think that's just lip service?
We have to be realistic. They've not cooperated on a single thing as it relates to what Russia did to attack our elections. And they have shown no interest in protecting us from future attacks. And so, no, I'm fully prepared for them not to cooperate. I do expect Republicans, though, in Congress to cooperate. They just went on record last week, 420 of us to 0, saying that we want to see every single word of the Mueller report. So they're on record now. So, I expect them to keep their word. And right now, I'm not going to hit them over the head with that because, I think they should do what's right.
You're on the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
The chairman of the Judiciary Committee is Jerry Nadler, and he said that he's received tens of thousands of documents. That's a quote from many of the 81 individuals and entities contacted as part of the investigation of President Trump and his inner circle. Do you know anything about that, and what can you tell us?
So, right, we're looking at abuse of power, we're looking at corrupt practices by the president, and we're looking at obstruction of justice. 81, I mean, when I heard that, I thought, that's it? It seems like there's a lot more, folks out there. But, I do believe that seeking voluntary information first is the way that we should go about this. Ideally, they turn over the documents. If they don't, then we have a subpoena power that we didn't have before. But I do believe that we have seen already in daylight, broad daylight, obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and a corrupt presidency, and these documents will affirm that. All
right, that's from your work on the Judiciary Committee. You're on the House Intel Committee as well. Chairman Adam Schiff asking the FBI to investigate Cindy Yang. Cindy Yang once owned that massage parlor that New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft was caught up in, charged with soliciting prostitution. She has some previous relationship with the President of the United States. What is behind this request from Schiff?
Well, it's just to make sure that, we don't have any individual who potentially could be connected, to the Chinese government who is drawing themselves close to the Trump organization. Now, let's just all admit the Trump team has priors, right? They've done this with the Russians. They allowed the Russians to come in a way that no presidential campaign or transition ever would allow. They've done this with the Saudis, where they've allowed us to get close to the Saudis to the point where we can't call them out for killing a U.S. resident, U.S. journalist on NATO allies' soil. So they've got priors that should concern us. And I can't say more than that right now, other than we have reason to look.
Yeah. So you joined me the night before Beto O'Rourke jumped in. Now he's raised 6.1.
Yeah. Good for Beto.
6.1. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
$6.1 million in 24 hours. You have suggested that you might get into the race. There are lots of.
Yeah.
There's a crowded field.
I
out
said by
there.
the end of the month.
Yeah, there's a crowded field out there. They're all the American people's getting to know them. Do you want to be part of the crowd that the American people are getting to know?
Yeah, I do have deep interest in leading this country because I know why people work hard and what they expect it to add up to. I saw my parents do that, but I see that the promise of America, that when you work hard, you do better for yourself and dream bigger for your kids. It's not reaching every block of every neighborhood. It's not reaching every floor of every building. It's something that I lived and something I continue to live today as a father of 2 kids, paying off my student loan debt. And I see that generationally I could bring optimism and inventiveness to a Washington that needs it. And held on, I've been in these fights for the last 7 years as our democracy has been on the line. The country knows that I have stood firm to face the threats from the outside and the attacks on the inside to the rule of law, and they would have someone who could continue to do that.
So you said by the end of the month. We're
right.
just, a little over halfway, at the halfway mark, so soon.
Yeah, we're getting there very soon.
I keep pushing you. I got to know.
I know.
Thank you, Congressman.
Of course. Thanks,
I
Don.
appreciate it.
Of course.